Are you ready for another 49ers preseason game, pal? I certainly am. I'm ready for all these names. I don't really know, but I'm going to try to know. Not really, but yeah, I'm ready for it. Injected in my veins. Preseason in January, man. But no, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, here we are. The final week of the regular season for my San Francisco 49ers as they get ready to take on the LA Rams in nothing. Absolutely nothing, pal. No, it's actually a tune-up. It's actually a tune-up for what's to come in the NFL playoffs in, 2 weeks. Why in 2 weeks? Well, to recap for what happened last week for both of these teams, for the LA Rams, running back Kyron Williams, he led the way. He led the way for his offense down in the Meadowlands of New Jersey, New York, what have you. He had a 3-touchdown outing, but they let the Giants hang around for a little too long because of turnovers, special teams problems, and a lot of drives that went nowhere. And they let the Giants catch up and gave them one last chance to win the game. But the Rams managed to survive after the Giants kicker Mason Crosby missed a potential game winner, and they held on 26-25. And yeah, they're here at this point. Meanwhile, for my San Francisco 49ers, they were in the nation's capital, down a little bit south of the Meadowlands, and they came out a little bit flat just in the first half. But they buckled down against Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders as they picked them off 2 times, and Brock Purdy had a get-right performance after a Christmas dud that was 4 interceptions, and Elijah Mitchell in the second half led the way. He led the charge, stepping up for the injured Christian McCaffrey as they bounced back big, kind of big, 27-10 to beat the Commanders. So why do I say this is a preseason? Why does it have a preseason feel to it, pal? Why is that? Well, for both of these teams, as we take one last playoff update for my 49ers, starting off with the Rams, they managed to claim their ticket to the playoff dance in January. After later in later in that week, the Seahawks lost to the Steelers. But yeah, that's how they managed to clinch their ticket to the big dance. They had to win against the Giants, and the Seahawks had to lose to the Steelers. But they still have seeding to play for. Do they want to be the 6th seed? Do they want to be the 7th seed? Where do they want to play? Now, it's a matter of whether they care about where they play is something we'll talk about in the next minute or two. Meanwhile, for my San Francisco 49ers, they got some big-time help. They got some really major help from the Arizona Cardinals because, well, the number 1 seed was at play still for the 49ers. They couldn't get the job done in week 16 on Christmas night against the Baltimore Ravens. They couldn't put themselves one step further to clinching it simply. So they need some help. And boy, did they get a New Year's Eve miracle from the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray because they upset Philadelphia up north and along with some help from the Dallas Cowboys the day prior, who barely beat the Lions. They secured the NFC's top seed and the lone bye in the playoffs. So considering all these injuries right now for San Francisco, that is big. That is definitely big for them. So going to this game, yeah, there's absolutely nothing to play for. But definitely some things to fine tune. There's definitely a lot of things that the 49ers need to clean up going into their divisional playoff game in a couple weeks. And of course, they want to avoid being rusty as all hell going into that matchup, whatever that may be. So looking at the injury report, aka rest report now, because, well, this game means pretty much nothing. Not just to the 49ers, but apparently now to the LA Rams as well. So for the Rams, for some weird reason, Sean McVay elected to rest Matthew Stafford for this game. And now he's going to trot out Carson Wentz. I apparently forgot they signed Carson Wentz as a backup. So, yeah, that's how my memory serves me well. So anyway, Carson Wentz is going to start this game for the LA Rams. And then you have Kyle Shanahan, like a couple of hours later that day, he elected to one-up Sean McVay by making Sam Darnold the starter for this game as well. So Brock Purdy's not going to play in this game. He's going to rest. Kyle Shanahan's going to rest him. I mean, I would have preferred Brock Purdy to play at least one series, to keep his sea legs fresh. But I mean, I kind of understand also from the health standpoint because he had 2 stingers in 2 weeks from the Arizona and the Baltimore game. So it makes sense to, let him take a break because he's played almost all the season except to this point, week 18. Yeah. But yeah, I just hope that he'll be ready to go. I think he will. Come 2 to 3 weeks time, when they play their first playoff game. I think he will. I think he'll be fine. But better have a healthier Brock Purdy than a less than healthy Brock Purdy. So going back to the LA Rams, Sean McVay announced that other key starters as well are not going to play in this game, like Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, running back Kyron Williams, edge rusher Ernest Jones. They're all going to sit and rest as well. It's a really interesting approach to have because I guess they really don't care where they're going to play in the playoffs, whether it's going to be in Detroit or in Dallas or by some miracle chance, Philadelphia. So I guess they really do not care where they stand, whether it's as a 6th seed or it's as a 7th seed. I mean, man, really would prefer Detroit, man. That narrative between, Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit, who won the trade between Stafford and Goff, Detroit and LA. I mean, it's obvious the answer is LA, of course, but damn, that would have been a big matchup right there. That would have been a big matchup, but we'll see how much the Rams care. We'll see how much the Rams care because clearly right now they don't. I mean, neither team does though. Meanwhile, for my 49ers, we'll see how many other starters Kyle Shanahan elects to rest or play for a series or two before he starts pulling out of this game. Another starter that's not going to play in this game is Christian McCaffrey. He suffered a mild calf strain during the Washington game, which is why you saw a lot of Elijah Mitchell. But he did step up pretty well in that game. He rushed through the Commanders' defense. I mean, in fairness, the Commanders' defense is pretty bad. So you might see a lot more of him during this Rams game against a bunch of backups. So Kyle Shanahan already ruled out McCaffrey for this game. Give him 2 to 3 weeks time to heal up. So no Christian McCaffrey in this game. In terms of injuries, corner Ambry Thomas is undergoing surgery for a broken wrist, somewhere hand related, but he's expected back before the divisional playoff game. So that's good news for the 49ers. Safety Tashawn Gibson was added to the injury report on Wednesday with the quad strain. So yeah, I mean, initially some people were thinking, oh no, that's not good. That's not good, but hold your breath, people. It's a week-long recovery. So it's actually good that they got this bye week because he's going to heal up from the quad strain and should be ready to go for the playoffs. I mean, I'm no doctor, but that's what they said on the twatters from all the reporters out there. So he should be good to go, which is a good sign, which is why the bye is very important. And we got a couple more people returning back from injury as well. Return specialist Ray McLeod, who was sidelined with a rib injury about a month or two ago. So he's designated return from IR. They officially designated him to return, and he was fully practicing this week. So I don't know if they're going to activate him this week so he can get some reps in in the punt return unit or maybe the kickoff returns. So maybe they will, so they can keep him, so they can get him fresh for the playoffs. I don't know, or maybe he can split the load with the returning receiver Danny Gray. I mean, he wasn't activated last week, but he continues to get full practices in, and he can also use some game reps. So they can get him as a depth piece. So we'll see. So rather than keys to victory, because I mean, it's a nothing game, to be honest with you. But I like to see this game as what can the Niners fix? What can the Niners, fine tune for this game and whatnot. So some 3 areas to fix for the playoffs. So starting with the LA Rams, I mean, it's their special teams. It was very bad. It was very, very bad in the Giants game. Their kicker, Lucas Harvishik, I forgot his name. He missed a couple of field goals, and he's been missing like quite often in the last month or so. That's why the Rams released him, and then they brought back Brett Maher. Like, I guess there was no one else available, but damn, you brought in the kicker that has been known for playoff notoriety. You brought back the kicker that last year he missed a bunch of field goals that nearly cost the Cowboys a playoff game against Tampa Bay. Wow. Okay. So that's an interesting decision. But even then, it's like on a punt return, I think, that's when the Giants scored points. Oh, I don't know, man. But yeah, in this game, like they have to fine tune their special teams unit because it was bad. Not just in the Giants game, but in recent weeks. And then their tendency to let opponents hang around, whether it's bad drives, turnovers, they just have to like clean up these smaller things because they have to find ways to finish drives because it's just letting people hang around when you have like a lead that's kind of not manageable. You just have to find a way to close the deal, like keep the door shut on your opponent. And then your passing defense. There's not a lot of great playmakers out there, but you just gotta find ways to prevent opposing quarterbacks from getting to their receivers. So maybe your passing defense, for as flawed as it is, find ways to create plays, create breakups to get the opposing offense off the field. And then for my 49ers, I would like them to fix the red zone scoring issues that they had last week. I know even against a Commanders defense that's been one of the worst in the league, they managed to step up last week in the red zone. I'm not sure if it was a play calling issue or I don't know, maybe it's the execution of the offense. But either way, I'd like them to, even with backups, yes, even backups, but I would like them to fix the red scoring problems, red zone. I'm getting my words mixed up. Red zone issues. Like they have to score touchdowns rather than field goals because if they score anything less than a touchdown in the playoffs, and they're like kind of falling behind, then that could be a problem. That's going to be a real problem. And then the run defense. This is a good time for their depth pieces, especially to tighten up on the run. So figure out like who can be your best run stopper behind Eric Armstead, if hopefully he'll come back, and then Javon Hargrave. And because their run defense has been really struggling since Eric Armstead has been away with injury. And then tackling, just simple tackling, man. Their missed tackle rate has been going up and up since that Philadelphia Eagles game. Like just make the tackle upon initial contact. Find a way to take down the running back or the opposing receiver. Just like focus on fixing your tackles. So those are 3 things for each team that they need to like fix before the playoffs begin. So plenty of things to clean up for Rams, plenty of stuff for the 49ers to fix. And this is pretty much just a tune-up game, a preseason tune-up game before the playoffs, pal. So let me know what you guys think. Both teams need to refine what you like to see for this game. And I guess an appetizer before their playoff runs begin. But I'd like to know in the comments below. So anyway, let me know, I guess, if you want a score prediction, I guess. I mean, if not that it matters. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this 49ers Week 18, the final game of the 49ers regular season before they head into the playoffs. So anyway, this is DylanLasagna signing out of another 49ers preview for the 2023 season. And, well, we won't be talking about them for the next couple weeks before the playoffs begin, especially after the recap of this game. So until then, keep that lasagna very cold in the fridge with your takes on the world of sports. And until the next one, peace out.